your engines. It's time for
No, you got to do that.
auto auction rebuilds.
You got to do that intro on that car, right?
The Celica behind us. I would show you all the Celica behind us, but I'm not allowed to because it's not next week's auction. Here we've got an 07 328i. Obviously, this was not a car that I was thinking about for the lot immediately. I was thinking about this for a rebuild. I thought this would actually be a really fun and interesting rebuild. But after taking a closer look at it, we've got serious problems. The frame is tweaked, the aprons are tweaked, but what's more concerning than that, I don't even know if I can get you guys in here, is there's the front of the motor, right? There's the front of the engine, and literally the core support is into it. So everything that was in front of the core support, like the fan, the condenser, the radiator, you know, I don't know if there's been significant damage to the engine. Body work is one thing, but when you start talking about the amount of money it's going to cost to do the framework, fix the aprons, replace the hood, replace the bumper, crash bar, airbag sensors, headlights, fender, hood, windshield, side airbags, front airbags. No, by the time, even with as cheap as I can find parts for, this thing just doesn't make any sense. And with the possibility of the engine being significantly damaged from this accident, it's just not worth the risk to me. It's only $850, so I mean it's cheap, and there's plenty of parts that even if we couldn't, yeah, this thing is.
That's it. That's it.
You know, even if we couldn't put it back together, there's enough parts that I'm sure we could make our money back off of. I mean, the rims and tires alone, the doors.
Tires are dry rotted to hell.
Oh, are they?
Look at them. Look at the tread.
Oh man. Okay, so the tires are no good either. So
Yeah.
look at this frame rail right here. Completely sideways. I mean, bent. It's bent a good. That's almost 90 degrees. Yeah, this one is done. This one is done. Oh well. But as you can see, I'm looking out for you guys. I'm trying to find something to build for you guys, but this one's not it. Off the table. How about a 2000 Acura RL with almost 300,000 miles on the odometer? Considering the mileage, not a bad looking car. Now, this obviously is not a rebuild, and I don't really think this would be a good car for the lot either. I don't think there's a lot of people lining up to spend their money on a 300,000 mile Acura. And under the hood, you've got signs of it sitting, lots of spider webs and cobwebs all over the place. A battery from 2016. I think it was that one. But we got a good set of Michelins. They're a few years old, but you can see all the rust. Hopefully you can see all the rust on the caliper there. John pointed that out.
Well, the rotor, not the caliper.
Yeah, the rotor.
Yeah. It's cold. It's cold.
It is, ladies and gentlemen. It is very cold out here today. And I think my brain is not getting enough blood this morning. So she's been sitting for a while. I don't know. What do you think? Comment below. What do you think of the Acura? Something we should look into, or something we should stay away from? It's in.
The
I mean,
interior actually looks.
yeah, the interior, the body, it's in really good cosmetic condition. I can't argue that at all. I can't help but wonder, why is it here? This is a donation. I mean, it'd be interesting to buy.
The windows are VIN etched.
Oh wow, yeah they are. Look at that. It'd be interesting to buy it just to see.
To see what was wrong with it.
Yeah, and I'm sure people would love seeing that video. You know, people would love to buy a 300,000 mile Acura and see if it drives.
You know
what else am I going to do with it?
If I was going to buy a 300,000 mile Acura versus a 300,000 mile GM, I'll take the Honda.
Oh, I take a Honda all day over a GM. I wouldn't trust a 300,000 mile GM anything.
Yeah.
Here we have an 04 Mercedes. This is what, a CLK 500?
Yep.
See, I'm learning. I'm learning. This, obviously, I think as you could tell from the front end damage, would be, this would be a rebuild. This would be a rebuild project. It's a nice looking car, 106,000 miles, touchscreen, aftermarket Kenwood head unit. We got a big Mercedes emblem in the back seat. We got a seat belt that obviously
blew the tension.
Yeah, so that's gone. It's got the AMG Sport Package, I guess. Either that or someone just threw some AMG wheels on it. We got a massive sub and amp back here. Let me show you. There's the massive amp, and here we've got a giant subwoofer. I mean, this thing's got to be at least 8 inches. That's what she said.
Yeah, that's an out of context.
Otherwise, a nice car, really nice looking car, other than the front end damage, which looks like, to me, this looks like a really easy fix. The bumper's toast, crash bar is aluminum and it ripped, toast. Headlights, brackets, toast. This, I don't even like calling this a core support, because it, I mean, I guess it's a core support, but really, you take these 2 bolts out over here, take the 2 bolts out over here, and your hood latches there. There you go. This is either the power steering or the transmission cooler. That's good. The condenser is going to have to be replaced. The radiator is going to have to be replaced. The cooling fan is probably broken underneath that as well. I'd be willing to bet the cooling fan is broken. But there's one of your frame rails right there, if you can even see it. Looks straight. Another frame rail right here. I mean, you can't really call these frames though. These are all unibodies, but it's a frame rail.
The best thing on this body style is actually the frame. You got the main frame rail right here, but the frame horns on the top are actually replaceable.
Right, they unbolt.
So even if this one's bent a little bit, you can find it off.
As long as you didn't bend the frame, which this one doesn't. I don't see it any way this had. This is a light hit. It looks worse than it is. It really does. It looks bad. It's not that bad. This is just plastic and aluminum. The stuff bends real easy. But yeah, this would be a good rebuild project. We'll see what the price goes for. This is a pure sale, and right now the auction's tomorrow. The bid's at $750, so not bad. We'll see. Here's one I'm looking at for the lot. It's an old Hyundai or Kia. I forgot what the heck this thing was. I need to redo that video. Here we've got an 03 Kia. This is the Optima, right? I think it's the Optima. Yeah, it's the Optima. It's the V6. It's the big, fully loaded, best of the best for back in 03, which isn't really saying much. We got the sun visor sitting in the back there. Obviously, not a rebuild. This is something I'd be looking at for the lot. Just a good, quick buy, clean, and flip. 157,000 miles and change. Show you the motor real quick. Now, I really hate these motors. I really do. These are timing belt motors, and you'd better change your timing belt on these things on time, because they are just known to snap and destroy the engine. And even for a Kia, it's not cheap. So here's one of my biggest concerns. Is when you drip the transmission fluid,
it looks like motor oil.
It's real bad. That trans fluid is really, 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 really bad. The oil is pretty bad too. Oops. The oil is really dark. And if that's not enough for you, check the coolant. There's nothing in it, and when you squeeze the hose,
air.
You don't even hear water. So, you know, if it was just dark transmission fluid, maybe I'd think about it. Probably not on a Kia, but dark tranny fluid, really bad oil, No coolant in the reservoir at all. You've got all of these needles from where it's been sitting. There were cobwebs and stuff under here. This just, it's too much. Too much to risk on a Kia. Now, if this thing goes real cheap, I'm talking $200, maybe $250. You know, even after fees, you're talking about an easy $350, $400. You know, if it goes for $200 or so dollars, this would be something I would consider. It might be worth the risk, but anything more than that, it's just too risky, in my opinion. Light hail damage too. Lots of light hail damage. Otherwise, not a bad looking car. Here's something I was looking at as kind of a rebuild. You don't really see much of anything wrong with it at first glance. This is an 04 545i. So it's got a peppy little 4.5 liter V8. You had to have that half in there, you know. It's got some decent looking rims. Now, I've actually spent a while looking at this with John over here. And look, we got the carbon fiber stickers. That's an expensive upgrade. Real expensive. That's probably real carbon fiber, don't you think, John?
Sure sounds like it. Yeah, sounds like it.
Here's something to look at. Tim pointed this out. Look at the gap on this front wheel. And I look at the gap on this front wheel. You could fit 2 fingers in the other one. You can't even get a finger between that gap. So we got something going on over here. We got a flat tire back here that's just dry rotted. I mean, this thing is shot. A rust caked, I was gonna call it a caliper again. A rust caked rotor. I mean, and we got cobwebs. I don't know if you can see this. There are spider webs and cobwebs in the spokes of the rim. Now, the interior looks, I mean, honestly, interior looks amazing. This is probably the best looking interior on an old BMW I've ever seen. These things usually have a real crappy interior. They fall apart.
Little wear on the bolster, but that ain't nothing big. I mean,
yeah, you got your B pillar here. A little bit's coming off. You got some wear here. A pillar. A little bit of the cloth's coming. But otherwise, the interior in this thing is just, it's amazing. It looks great. Now, this car says it's a flood car. 194,000 miles on the odometer. We're waiting on a jump start right now. Now, according to the Carfax report that I have, this car was flooded somewhere between the middle and the end of October. So this thing was just recently flooded, according to the paperwork. The interesting thing is we've got cobwebs all over the place over here. So it looks to me, look at all this. This is, see him blowing in the wind? This has been sitting a while. You can tell, number one, by all the cobwebs, and number two, you got more cobwebs in the rims, and the amount of rust on the brake rotor shows this thing has just been sitting for a good while. Now, as far as flood damage goes, this is a start, but not drive. We checked the transmission fluid. I don't know how well you could see that, but it looks like slightly worn transmission fluid, nothing extreme. The belly pan is off down here, and of course it leaks oil from probably just about every place the thing could leak oil from. There's a lot of wetness down there. But whoever the dealership, who'd you say it was? Jackie Cooper BMW in Edmond?
Yep.
They just got this car in November, and they did the inspection for the insurance company, I guess, to determine the amount of damage. And it looks like they left the belly pan off. There's some pieces by the transmission, looks like heat shielding or something, that's been left off of it as well. It's just hanging down. So this is one that I really suspect had pre-existing mechanical damage and somehow got passed off as a flood. And for the life of me, I don't know how you pass this off as a flood. There is nothing about this car that has any signs of a flood. Usually you get flood water down in the crank pulley. You'll get dirt or mud down there. You'll get a water line down here somewhere. You'll see debris. there's nothing anywhere. You go inside the car. For a car to be flooded in Oklahoma, the water line has to reach the seats. It's got to reach the seats. So to cover the top of the seat would have to start about right here. There should be a water line somewhere, and there's none. There's none. You can look at the carpets. Look underneath. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing anywhere that says this car was in any kind of a flood. So, like I said, I don't know what exactly happened, but I would say somebody pulled one over when it came to this car. Because I think it probably had pre-existing transmission damage, maybe rear differential damage, who knows. And, you know, it just got passed off as a flood. And here it is. How about an 07 Nissan Xterra? Now, at first glance, yeah, it looks like this thing's got some real problems, but to be quite honest with you, you've got a slight bend right here, which may be difficult to see on camera, but it is slightly bent here. You've definitely got a bend right here that you can see. The fender's got a tiny bit of a crease right here. That's not even enough for me to even worry about. It looks like this has been pushed in just a little. This is all easy fixed stuff. This can all be pulled out. This may need to be replaced. Just bolts on down here, a couple bolts up top, replace it. Under here, it doesn't look too bad. The engine looks good. A lot of zip ties under here. We got good clean oil, like really clean oil. Can I get it in the hole first try? Oh, I did.
Like a pro. Because
I am that good.
Yeah.
It's got meaty tires. Look at these tires. Great tires all the way around. It's got a few miles, 177,000 miles. The interior is, you know, it needs cleaned. But I think the best part is we have most of the parts to put it back together. Here's the airbox. The other half of the airbox is on the other side. We got the headlights. We've got the bumper, which appears to be in good condition. We've got the grill back there. I mean, literally, this is not a difficult repair at all. And overall, it's a really good, I'm trying not to fall and bust my face here. We've got rocks all over, but this is a real nice looking car. Or SUV, whatever. Boy, if the door's been closed for a while, they stuck. Definitely needs a heck of a cleaning. But this is enhanced. We can't start this one. It is enhanced, but what do you think? And this is a pure sale, so whatever it sells for, it sells for. If it goes cheap enough, I guarantee you this is going to be one coming in one of the future videos. Here we got a 2010 Nissan Altima. This is the 2.5 liter SL. This is not the one that I would want, but if it went cheap enough, I'd go ahead and buy it. This is considered a vandalism. This is an insurance claim for vandalism. And I'm not sure what happened here, but the heated seat is melted. And that appears to be it. Everything else looks like normal wear to me. Okay, maybe a little bit in excess of normal wear. We got some mud all over the back here. The tires are practically no good. We got a busted lens. The front tires are worse. Scratches all over the place. The front bumper is scratched up, cracked, missing the fender liner on this side altogether. So it's just flopping around there. 113,000 miles. We've got several lights on the dash. We've got a key light. We've got a VDC off light, a slip light, an exclamation mark, an ABS light. But when you put it in gear, it goes in gear. And it fires right up. So, I don't know. I guess if it goes cheap enough, it would be worth bidding on. Just I say that about every car, but I mean, that's just the way it is, man. If they go cheap enough, it's worth giving it a shot. We're coming towards the end of this video, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 2012 Nissan Altima. It's got 109,000 miles on it. It's a flood. This is the Altima I would like, though, because this has the 3.5 liter V6. This is the 3.5 SR. It's a very clean car, but not to fear, it does have a serious problem. And I'll show you. Let's see if you can guess what this car's issue is and why it's here. Take a look at the windshield. Lots of water droplets. Open up the trunk. Open up the trunk. It is so cold, I just called the door the trunk.
Rotors are calipers.
Rotors are calipers. Doors are trunks now.
This is a pickup. This is a...
Oh, man. So someone threw these air fresheners in here in an attempt to make it smell good. I assure you it doesn't smell good at all. It smells very, 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 very bad. I don't know where the actual water line is on this, but I can tell you this. You could see the water line when we pull the seat out right here.
There's a good water line up here.
You got a good water line over there?
Yeah, right there at the baseboard. Right there. And then you can see it right there above the tire.
Okay,
sticker.
okay. When you lift this seat up and get under there, it is still sopping wet. It is soaking wet, so the water at least came up to here. It does look like someone tried to clean it up.
They got all these air fresheners in.
Yeah, lots of air fresheners. Yeah. And new floor mats. Someone went and stuck some new floor mats in it too to help you out a little bit.
Yeah,
you can see the debris. You can see that this is also a good indication of a water line when you have debris like sticks and dirt stuck up here. So the water definitely came up to around the seats. They say it runs. Let's see if we can get it started right now. Well, we got her running, and oddly enough, everything seems to be functioning fairly well. It's idling well. We've got heat on. We got one little orange triangle exclamation mark. Not sure what that's about. The heater is working. The touch screen, the radio, is dead as a doornail. We can't get anything to work at all on this. You can put it in gear, backwards and forwards. Check the windows. Windows work. Oops, pushed the wrong one. Yeah, it runs. Seems decent. What do you think? Comment below. What do you think about this one? The flood with all the water up here, right? Okay, so I got to show you guys this. We just checked the oil, and it's literally almost all the way to the top of the dipstick. Unbelievable. This thing must be full of water. I just spoke to a guy who he said he checked the fluids, and he said the fluids were good on it. There was no water in it. So for those of you wondering why I didn't check the fluids before I started up, you know, I took the guy's word for it. But this thing is seriously overfilled, and that's not just oil. There's got to be water displacing the oil in that. Yeah, definitely concerning. Here's the transmission, and it doesn't look like there's...
Dry.
No, it's clear. It's a clear fluid.
Maybe it is CVT.
Yeah, maybe this is a CVT. Any of you ladies and gentlemen out there on YouTube know about these? I don't know if this uses a CVT or not, but comment below and tell me if the 3.5 2012 Altima uses a CVT. Yeah, that's got water in the oil. A lot of it. Wow. Here's what the air filter looks like. Really, really bad. You can see all the debris down here. This is soot and stuff. This is not just normal debris. A lot of that is caked in there. Yeah. Last but not least for you fine folks is a BMW X5 that was on fire. My GoPro died, so now I'm having to use my iPhone. So the viewing angles are a little bit different for me to try to get this thing in frame. We got some really nice Continental tires. Real nice tires all the way around on this one. Now this is another one I'm not quite sure. We definitely have a hard misfire. Okay, I wouldn't call it hard misfire, but we definitely got an occasional misfire. Let's see if we can open. It's not going to open. Great. Well, anyway, I'll show you. We've got great tires, great tires all the way around. Here's the motor. The fire damage, this one confuses me because the headlight is what caught on fire, or the ballast, I'm not sure. The wiring is all still perfectly fine. I think this might need some help. So this harness definitely is going to need some attention. But the headlight harness looks fine, but it looks like the headlight is what caught on fire. I don't really see anything damaged too badly, nothing that would require like replacing any major components. This can be cleaned up. This probably needs replaced. This is the coolant overflow tank right here. So that probably needs replaced. Honestly though, it sounds pretty decent. Now, I ran a Carfax on this, and the Carfax says 107,000 miles is not correct. Carfax states that this had 130,000 on it not that long ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago. So Carfax report is definitely inaccurate. It does run very well. I know the radio works. I have not been able to get the heat or anything on this panel down here to come on at all. Completely non-functional. This is listed, I believe, as a start but not a drive. We can put it in reverse, and you can see we got a hard misfire right there. That's a solid misfire when the light flashes like that. But it will go backward. Put it in drive. It will go forward. I don't know. I'd like to pop that hatch though, because I want to show you the burnt headlight. We managed to get into the hatch here, and if you ever wonder why you shouldn't go buy some cheap HID kits on your favorite retail shop like eBay or Amazon Prime, maybe this will give you a good enough reason to not purchase some cheap aftermarket HID kit. Look at this. This is ridiculous. This is junk. These are not OEM headlights. John pointed that out to me. These are some aftermarket headlamps. Sonar. Aftermarket sonar headlamps with aftermarket HIDs and a German ballast. And this is what happens. Whoever owned this car, it burned up on them. And when you take a look at the other headlight, guess what? Same deal. Aftermarket headlight, and we got an aftermarket HID kit in here. Junk. This is garbage. Don't buy it, or you could end up making a beautiful X5 like this turn into a burn victim. It's burned up here, burned here, here, a little bit down here. Personally, I wouldn't call this a salvage. I wouldn't have thought this would have been a total loss, but I guess maybe the paint work and some of this other stuff is what did it. I don't know. I am interested in this one. I like it, and I bet you money we could drive it home with no problems. I guess we'll just have to see what happens at auction. All right, here we have a Maserati Quattroporte. I sound smart, but I don't know what the heck that means. Yeah, so this car is a little out of my league. This is a rebuilt title car, so it's definitely been in an accident. I think Quattroporte means 4 exhaust pipes.
There should have been a badge back there.
Yes, that's what it means. It means 4 exhaust pipes. 52,145 miles. It's got a broken window right here. Looks like we're missing some trim on the interior on both sides. Little cracked up. No airbag, I don't think. I think this is just a cover or something. Maybe it is, I don't know. How about that, right? Let's see if we can pop the hood. How many men does it take to open a hood on a Maserati?
2.
As long as it takes.
Apparently 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that is wicked. That is wicked. I like that.
That's a Ferrari V8.
Oh, I like that. I like it. I like it. Man, no, I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy.
Aromatic suspension.
I see that.
Yeah.
I'm not greedy, but man, I'd love to be able to have something like this on my channel someday.
Yeah. You get that Honda Accord drag.
Oh, okay. I hope you enjoyed this one, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this week's walk around. Thank you to John and Tim for coming out and hanging out with us because it was a cold one today. We're actually here trying to warm up just a little bit before we get out of here. If you enjoyed the content, give the video a big thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs up anyway. And don't forget to comment below if you enjoy this content. Big shout out to Copart. Thank you for letting us come out here and check these cars out today. We are going to get out of here. Fingers crossed we win something in the auction tomorrow. Stay safe out there, everybody. We will catch you very soon in the next one.